Hey, what's up everybody? This is Trey with Armstrong Aroids. I'm official now. Got a shirt that says Armstrong Aroids. No, I'm not gonna lie, we actually made it, but they're pretty cool. I like it. But that's not what this video is about. But back to the intro. This is Trey with Armstrong Aroids and Rare Plant Enthusiast. And this is kind of impromptu because I'm super excited about what I'm going to show you guys. And it's kind of weird because now I feel like I have the perfect mix of humidifiers to carry in the store. I don't have it here, but I also have a bottle humidifier that meets all of my needs. And now we've got some cute humidifiers that also meet 95% of those needs. And I'm going to talk to you about what those are, why I like them, and what the benefits of them are for the most part. I'm not going to go over the benefits of a humidifier other than just to say if you have a cabinet and you have plants that require higher humidity because of the climate that they're used to, then you're definitely going to want to use a humidifier, especially for plants that like having a hard time unfurling due to a lack of humidity. It also helps for that situation. Even if it's not in a cabinet, you know, if you've got say a PPP or a philodendron pink princess that struggles, or even like a brandy that struggles to unfurl but does okay once it's out, then this would certainly be a good method for assisting in that leaf unfurling. So let's get into what this is and why I'm excited about it. So first thing is that these come in two colors. I probably am more of a fan of the white than the pink, but not everybody is. And the pink's kind of washed out due to the lighting that we have here. But if you take a look, that's kind of cute. And if you're into kittens, I believe that that's a cat, so that's kind of cute. And then also, if I don't know if there's any bear plant people out there, but that's a little bear. He's cute, but that's not those aren't the features that we really want to talk about today. The first thing, it's interesting, they're a little bit different, but the first thing that we want to talk about is the primary thing that I look for and need in a humidifier. And that is a mechanical on-off switch. So if you look, and you can probably even listen, so let's do, hear that click, just like that. Okay, so that click tells me that so here's why it's important. I like to use smart switches. Everything in all of our cabinets runs off of a smart switch. So we control the amount of humidity everything gets, we control the amount of light that everything gets, we control, yeah, that's pretty much it, light and humidity. Those are the two biggest factors anyways, right? Other than nutrients, but nutrients isn't going to be controlled by a smart switch, although that's kind of a cool idea. I might have to think through that a little bit. But those two factors are very important in terms of decreasing the amount of maintenance that you have to go through when you are having a large amount of plants. Even if you're having a small amount of plants and you just want to decrease the amount of work that you have to do in order to care for your plants, automation is a great way to go. So that's number one. Number two, same button or same knob, but you can control the amount of mist, we'll just call it mist, that comes out of there. So that dial knob, and I'll show that a better example of that here in a minute, but that dial knob controls the amount of mist that comes out of there. That way, now you have the ability to control when it comes on, when it shuts off, and the amount of humidity that your plants are going to get during the duration of the time that it's on. Very important factors. One that is not quite as important, but is definitely a benefit, is that these are top fill. So no need to take the bottom off in order to fill it, although that might be pretty convenient just because you might spill a little bit. If you do, you still have the option to do like a traditional filling where you fill it in, fill it up, and then slide your piece on top just like that. It's a nice feature. So that's a good feature. Not necessarily a requirement, but definitely a nice one. Another thing that's nice about these is the power plug is a USB Type-C plug. So either way, I mean USB is nice too. Oops. USB is nice too, but USB Type-C is nice because you know whether you go this way or you go that way, you can actually get it to plug in properly. So that's a plus. Another nice feature that this has, again, not necessarily a necessity, but definitely a benefit, especially if you have like the whole top filling feature going on, is it actually has a fill indicator. So let's go right there. Right there is how high you want to fill this reservoir. So if you decide that you're going to go ahead and fill it in from the top and you don't want to take the top off, you can just flip it around, take a look, watch for the water line, and see when it fills up. That's really nice. Actually, our huge humidifier that we have in the shop at Armstrong Aroids, it has a fill level indicator in it as well, and it's also top fill. So those are kind of neat features that I feel like they took from the larger, more commercial industry type humidifiers and brought them into a small, cute package that fits inside of your IKEA Millsbow or your, I don't know, Rudsta, you know, what, or maybe just your wooden cabinet. You know, I've seen a lot of really nice conversions where they just take a wooden curio and turn it into a really nice cabinet. Painting them black does everything. Obviously, we haven't just because this is a temporary situation, long-term temporary situation, but whatever. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a fancy cabinet, just something that can hold humidity. Another nice feature about this is even though this is a really small compact size, it's probably going to be backwards, but yeah, it's backwards, but that's okay. You'll notice that that's 520 milliliters. That's a pretty good amount of water for a really small cabinet when you have the ability to control when it's going to turn on and off. 520 milliliters, that's probably going to be about 2 or 3 days, depending on how much humidity you want to add and how well your cabinet holds humidity, and of course the size of your cabinet. But that's a pretty good size, and so I think that let's see, do I have anything in comparison? Let me grab something that's a little bit smaller so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about when we're talking about a size comparison. Let's just grab another one really fast. So let's look at a couple things. This is a nice humidifier. Found it on, I think, Amazon. It's cute, H2O, fairly popular brand, but it's lacking a few of the details that I really need in a humidifier. One is that if the power turns off on my smart switch, it's a digital button or electronic button. When the power comes back on, this is not going to come back on with the power. So smart switch out. The other thing that this is a disadvantage for is USB, but right up on there, not Type-C. So it has to be plugged in a certain way. Not a big deal, but it is certainly something that is to be noted. And then another thing that's interesting is that, so the capacity of these is much smaller. This is your capacity. So, for example, let's see. Let's take this. What's the size of this? I don't know ounces. Oh, 500. Okay. So this water bottle is 500 milliliters, and if you remember, the in fact we still use it. I'll grab one. Let's just grab one. It's easy to grab. We'll grab this one. Good timing to grab it because it's empty. Oh, goodness. And it's super dirty. And so, but you know, it gets used. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm glad I'm grabbing this one because honestly, this really needs to be cleaned. But this was the one that we used to carry, but I can no longer find it. This is an Elect Homes, and it's pretty cool too. It's got some nice features. Has mechanical on off. Oops, that was all the way up. Hit the click. There we go. Has adjustable volume. Not Type C, so maybe we could consider that as a something that's not a benefit for it, but definitely easy, and it's small. That's another thing. It's about this. Well, it's about this size. So if you have to drill a hole in your cabinet, you're only going to drill a hole about this size. So that actually can also be considered as a benefit because this will go to an AC adapter. Easy to clean, but the features that I want to talk about is traditionally, I mean, we have big cabinets, and this is one of the nice things that was a benefit over this that you're not going to find in this, but most people aren't going to need this because our cabinets aren't going to be as big as this. But what you will notice is that, well, I'm not going to do that. But anyway, so how this normally works is you take this piece, you screw it on there, and you stick it in there, and that's the size. Let's go like this. And that would be the size of a 500 milliliter container or 500 milliliters of capacity for a really small compact humidifier. So that's nice, but the interesting thing is that now you get that in this, and it's actually smaller. So really cool. I like that. It's a neat feature to it. The other thing is that when you think about 500 milliliters, this wasn't going to hold 500. This cup of water, 500 milliliters. The container on this guy, probably about 350 milliliters. So another advantage, you're getting. I mean, this is nice and small and compact, but you're missing out on a lot of different features. Plus, I didn't even talk about this, but you don't get that adjustable control where you control the amount of humidity that's coming out. All right, so let's look at this. Let's let my dog in. So I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna be right back, and then after that, we're gonna fill this up for the first time. I'm gonna walk through something I think is a good practice habit to do with any humidifier that has that ultrasonic wicking process, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, talk to you in a second. Okay, and we're back. So before we go into testing this out for the first time, like I said, I've actually never tested these, never had these, but I ordered a bunch, and I'm going to be bringing them in and carrying them in the store. But it was kind of a shot in the dark because honestly, I wasn't sure if this was going to be a mechanical on-off or if this was just the humidity controller. But now that I know exactly what it is, and hopefully if it works exactly how I think it's going to, this is going to be exciting. All right. Couple things that I think are cool, which might be hit and miss because I noticed that this one didn't have it, but for the most part, I'm assuming that maybe that's just a one-off, but usually it's going to come with a strip that's going to cover your ultrasonic humidifying element, I don't know what you call it, and it shows you, max water line, which is kind of nice. But let's get into this. Let's try this out. All right, so I'm going to use this top filling feature first. I'm going to angle this. Let's see. Let's just angle. I don't know if I want to angle down or drop down. Let's just drop down. Let's go like that. All right, and then maybe I'll drop me down some too. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's talk about this filling feature. I'm going to face it towards you so that I can see where we're at here. And so how this is going to work, and you probably would not use a cup to do this, so I'm probably going to make a mess. Yeah, we're just going to make a mess. So we're going to just, yeah. I had a feeling. I would probably use my watering can, because when we water our plants, we actually use filtered water in them. And so it would it would work out really well versus using a solo cup. But I wanted to demonstrate the amount of water that it could hold. And so as we are filling this up, I'm watching to see when we hit that max fill line. And we're not quite there yet. We might not even get there because I spilled some of it. No. Okay, there we go. Alright, so there's that. I'm not so sure how that's going to work out because I got water inside of the fill port. That's fine, whatever. Alright, so now I've got it filled up with water. Let's see. You might not be able to see the water line. Yeah. Oh, maybe that angle. Nope. There you go. See right there? Like right in the center of the circle. Right, so that was 500 milliliters of water. Give or take a few spills. So that's that. Now, the other thing, oh, there you go. Here's an easy way to tell. Let's go down. Just actually, no, let's go like this. Set that right there for a second. Ew, my hands are dirty. Of course, my hands are dirty. I play in dirt. Here we are. Okay, 500 milliliters of water. Looking pretty good. So that's that. Now, something that I have learned that helps when you go to use this for the first time, you're going to want to take a little cotton piece out. And that's also nice too, because these are replaceable. But you're going to take that out, and I would just actually just set it right there in the water for a little bit. And because that's going to allow it to work right away instead of you trying it out and thinking, oh my gosh, it's broken, it's not working, what a piece of crap. I'm going and taking this back to Trey because he sold me something that doesn't work. So save you some time and save me some explanation. There it is. Alright, and then once you've had it soak in there a little bit, not that there's anything wrong with that, because I will totally take care of you as a customer. But this will just save you some drive time probably. And maybe just take it, flip it upside down, let it sit in there a little bit more, get a little bit more moist, if you will. Alright, so we're good there. Okay, so we're going to take this, or it's better to just stick it in here first. So we're going to take it, we'll just slip it right in there. A little bit of spring action going. And we're going to take that and slide it right back inside of its hole like that. Make sure it fits in there nicely, and it looks like, I don't know if it snaps and turns or just pushes in. Yep, okay. It's going to push in and click. Alright, pushed in, click, good there. And slide this right back on top. Obviously, you're not going to have to go through all of these steps every time you fill this up. It's backwards. I feel like I'm going to make a mess. Okay, clearly I've done something wrong. Obviously, this is the first time I've done this. Nope, don't like that. Come on. I might break this first one. Interesting. Okay, we're going to just keep going. We experience technical difficulties. I want to be real about it. Let's see. So I'm noticing that this one seems to be bent in a little bit. Let's go this one. Where's the camera? There it is. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. Just not quite getting it all to snap in there all the way. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's something that I'm doing something with the unit. Let's take a look and see this one. Let's see where we went wrong here. So I'm gonna just take a look inside of there, take a look inside of there. And it looks, I have no idea how this could have, oh, wow. Totally user error. Totally, in fact, quite embarrassing user error. Alright, so let's teach you this. Has absolutely nothing to do with the product. I'm glad that that's the case. But if you'll notice, there's a problem. It should face this way. You've got the hole in the top with the other holes that go around it. And then you've got the hole in the bottom, which is probably just, well, actually that's the fill hole. So what I ended up trying to do was sticking the moisture wick in the fill hole. And, you know, I'm not above sharing that I am not perfect. So there's that. I wondered, because it normally goes in there really easy. So let me show you what I did wrong. Alright, had it in there. That's the fill hole. That is not the hole for the wick. So it doesn't go in there. It actually goes in here, slides in perfectly. So just remember, if you happen to not have a good memory like me, it goes that way, not the other way. So we're going to slide this right back into place. Slides on perfectly. It's happy. It's good. I'm happy. I'm not sad that I spent a lot of money on something that's defective from the very beginning. Happen to have a Type-C USB plug here, handy and ready to go. And we're going to plug this in for the first time. Admittedly, I am a little concerned about the fact that I got water spilled on the top of that. But that's fine. So we're going to take this, we'll hear the click, click. Oh, light. I didn't know it lit up. Get a little bit coming up, and boom! Look at that. So, and I'm not sure how the light situation works in terms of if you can stop it, control it, adjust it, or what. If you don't like the light, I'd imagine that you could probably DIY a way to just take that out of there. All it is a LED that's in the bottom, which is right up in there. But it'd be nice if it just stayed, whoops, stayed one color. Let's see if we can like adjust it. Maybe we can, different clicks will do different things. Let's see. Nope, it's still changing colors. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's a turn off for you or not, but I think that I'd be okay with it. At least that way I know it's on. And worse, no, I probably wouldn't mess with it. I'd probably just leave it the way it is. But yeah. So it has a light. Yay! Exciting news. Oh, that's interesting. I think you can. Maybe? No? What's it doing here? Nope. Yeah. Okay, no matter what, that light's going to be on. But, here we go. Let's talk about the adjusting. So, you can have very little humidity. And still a pretty good amount of humidity, honestly. Or you'd have a lot of humidity. my breath is kind of blocking it, so I'm going to not breathe for a second so we can see it. Okay, whew. It's about as long as I can hold my breath. So, really cool. All right. So there's that. Super excited to bring these in. Very, very cool item to have. And I think that these are going to be great. They'll be a great addition and a great complement for the other items that we're going to bring in the humidifier area. So definitely swing by Armstrong Aroids. Take a look at these. Grab one for your cabinet if you don't have a nice, cute humidifier. I hear that a lot because usually you see these like big, bulky humidifiers that take up half the cabinet, and I would rather use that cabinet space for my plants. And this is the other thing too. You stick that on the side, stick it sideways, it takes up even less real estate than if you face it forward, and so that's also an added benefit. So yeah, check these out. I think that we're going to bring these in, well, at a really good price. I'm thinking like between, I don't know, around the $24.99 range. We'll say that. But I will also say that for those of you that are local and live in Utah, actually, you know what? It doesn't matter where you live. I can ship these. And these aren't going to get cold, and they're not going to die on you. Their roots aren't going to freeze, and they're not going to get damaged. And so if you want one of these and you don't live in Utah, I can ship it. No big deal. But yeah, it's probably going to be about $24.99. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, that's what it was. I'm going to put this up tonight for those of you that are local, and we are going to do 25% off for the holidays starting tomorrow and stopping tomorrow because it actually started today. But yeah, 25% off, and I will include these in that 25% off, as well as everything else in the entire store. Glad that you were able to hang in there with me and wait and stick it out through the whole video. Again, this is an awesome addition for anybody's cabinet. These are nice, but something like this is great. You're going to have a lot more benefits, a lot less maintenance, and a lot more ease. And you know, it's top fill, it's controllable. It's a great feature. It's a great thing to have. Automate your stuff, simplify your life, buy more plants. Okay, so that's it. This is Trey, Armstrong Aroids, rare plant enthusiast. Appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time. Make sure you stick it in the right hole. And that sounds bad, but it's important. We'll go from there. Appreciate you. Have a good day.